My name is Chris Rotunda with JordansWayCharities.com, a charity I started in 2018 after the loss of my dog Jordan to cancer. After almost a year and a half, a little shorter than that, I am at the road where I have to start looking for sponsors who have watched me along this year and a half and have seen some of the crazy stuff that I've done, whether it's sleeping in a shelter for 3, 7, 10, or 30 days to raise money for an animal shelter that needs $100,000 for a new building, or whether it's just bringing awareness to a shelter that is in just desperate need of awareness from their community, just bring them together. I have done so many crazy things in the last year and a half just by being me, by showing myself on Facebook Live, by showing up to these shelters, by talking to community leaders, to interviewing directors of shelters, directors of rescues. I do a lot of interviews on live video with adopters and new fosters and showing the importance in all of that. With that being said, I've obviously been on a lot of news segments. The dodo video really catapulted me, but people don't know what I did to get to that video. I ended up dragging a 250-pound tractor tire in New York City in Times Square in Central Park for 10 days. It was 100 miles. It started at 6 in the morning every day, and it didn't end until around 8 or 9 every night. I'd go back to the hotel. I'd soak in the hot tub. I would probably soak for about an hour in the hotel hot tub. And all I was doing those days is tagging, New York celebrities, New York talk shows, just doing crazy stuff to bring awareness to everything I was doing. I think the last straw that really, broke the back was when I took that tire and kind of went into where the building is for the dodo. And I went right in front of that building with that tire, and I just kind of just kept dragging it around their building. It's like their building is like an unmarked building in New York. And I remember just being like, let's go over there and just do something stupid. Just keep dragging that tire around. And eventually they got in contact with me just to be like, the hell are you doing? And that was just me being me. So for me, I think, it's 2020 out there. Animal rescues and animal shelters need someone to step up as a voice, as somebody that's strong and loud enough like myself to be a voice for the things that people don't know. Also, I've been responsible for thousands of adoptions in the Tampa Bay area just by being me. Like I said, I get called by a lot of Tampa Bay shelters and rescues to come when there's euthanasia problems, whether it's overpopulation or, just any kind of situations that harm the welfare of the animals in that rescue or shelter. I always go there and I do crazy stuff. Like, people have seen me on live feeds doing these ride-alongs where I take a dog that's either going to be up to be euthanized or just a dog that has a behavior issue. And I just take him in my car. I take him to McDonald's. I go on the live feed. I put the TV on the back of my Yukon. We sit back there and watch movies, just to show people the life of that animal outside that kennel. That kennel look is never a good show. So for me, I know that I am one that is completely different in this field, of the animal welfare field. And I am seeking sponsors now to step forward to help me continue my travels, continue my journey to shelters all across now the United States. I have shelters in Florida that always call me, always want to go on live feed, always want me to come there to bring awareness to animals. But now I'm getting called by Alabama, California, Texas. We just did a great segment on a live feed virtually with Best Friends Society, which most people know has millions of followers, has amazing programs that they're trying to get from high kill to no kill by 2025. But for me, for Jordan's Way, I am trying to be the voice for all the animals, the voice that people come to when, overpopulation is an issue, whether it's fundraising issues they're having. I've been responsible for, like I said, thousands of adoptions, but also thousands of dollars raised. And I think also one of the things that I'm really good at is I know how to connect to the people. When I get to a rescue or a shelter and they ask me to go live on their Facebook page, I know how to connect with those people, not just saying, hey guys, we got a dog here from the Humane Society of Pasco County, or a dog here from Pet Pal Animal Shelter. It's more about interacting with the animals and getting inside those kennels and getting them out of those kennels to show people, their personalities in that kennel is not who they are outside it. One of the other things I'm going to be spending a lot of energy and time on is highlighting the importance of fosters. As COVID happened, it was one of the worst things we've ever been through is COVID. But one of the silver linings was the fact that fosters just emerged. Like shelters went from having 100 dogs to clearing the shelters. That's a big deal. It just kind of sucked that it happened, because of COVID. We got to see the emergence of fosters. But hey, sometimes good things happen in bad situations, and that was one of those things that COVID did. But if you're watching this video, and I have a lot of highlights of myself doing stuff, whether it's ride-alongs, whether it's a pieing contest, whether it's a tug of war against a pit bull, whether it's something, I do everything to bring awareness to those animals and to show, just because they're at a rescue or shelter doesn't make them, any less fortunate to be adopted. These animals all across the country are in thousands of shelters and rescues, and we need a voice. And I've always said it's one gift that I have. I can talk. I'm a Jersey boy. I'm loud. I'm like a New Yorker, but I get the message across. And with new sponsors coming forward to help me out every month, help me with my travels, help me with those expenses that I'm going to start enduring. I know I can do a lot more, and I'm trying to ask everybody that's watching these videos to instill their trust in me. I'm a dad of 2 little girls. I recently went through a divorce. I've been through a lot of challenges, but I'm one of those people that with every setback is a comeback. And when my dog Jordan passed away, when I started Jordan's Way, that was one of the biggest setbacks I ever had. I got Jordan in 2008. She was like the best thing that ever happened to me. She turned my life around. And, I said when she passed away back in 2018, I was going to do something that was just to honor that dog and to show her the places that she came from don't have to be exactly the same way they are 10, 20 years down the road. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to bring, I'm not an awareness junkie per se, but I'm one of those that I know I can instill a lot of change and a lot of differences, but also educate the community that, those rescues and shelters, they need us. They need us more than ever now. The overpopulation is worse than it's ever been, whether it's the Redlands of Miami, or it's Texas or California, all these very high kill places that don't, the communities don't know enough. I'm going to bring awareness to everybody. One of the things that I totally express to people all the times on my feed is the more we share, the more chances these animals, more shares we can do with these videos, the more chances these animals get to getting adopted. And that's so important to use these amazing platforms like social media, Facebook and YouTube. I have a big campaign going. I'm trying to get 1 million YouTube subscribers. It is one of the hardest things to do when you're doing it without really funding those marketing, moves you can use on YouTube and Facebook. The money that I'm using from sponsors is going to be to marketing. It's also going to be to, like I said, travels, lodging. I'm going to Jacksonville, Miami all the time, but I live in Tampa, and now I'm being called to Alabama, and I'm being called to New York. I'm being called to Texas. And like I said, California is one of the biggest asks I've ever had. So for me, I'm looking for sponsors that watch me, that can look at my feed, look at Jordan's Way, and see the passion. And I think people always say it's just, I come off as very genuine, and I am. This is something I feel like, when I spent 30 nights at the shelter to raise $100,000 for a shelter in Pasco County, Florida, that was all passionate, man. It sucked, but it was all passion. It was something I was so, I'm so engraved in. And it's incredible. I've done crazier things, I think, dragging a tire in Central Park in Times Square in front of thousands of people just to bring awareness to animal shelters was one of those things that, I trained my butt off for, but it was something that was beyond worth it. Doing all these things, getting all these news headlines, getting these newspapers to catch on to me has been amazing. But, I haven't been able to spread my wings like I really want to. And that's why I'm here. I'm pitching to all sponsors that, want to help out, somebody in my position, somebody that, I know I have a talent behind me after a year and a half, where people are telling me you need to get more, you need to get to a bigger stream of people. You need to get, marketing under your belt. You need to get, the YouTube channel under your belt, the Facebook followers under your belt. I have limited time that I can dedicate to what I'm doing, but the time that I do have, people know I make an impact, and I make it pretty quick. So I'm looking for sponsors. I'm looking for people that believe in me, believe in Jordan's Way. I have great support when it comes to followers that are sharing our videos all the time. I have great support in terms of we are about at 30 or 40 rescues and shelters just in Florida that allow me to share on their Facebook pages when I go live. Allow to They also come on live with me every week to every 2 weeks. So I make it a point to make sure that they're always on live feed with me, even if it's virtually and I can't go from Tampa to Jacksonville, Tampa to Miami. I make sure that we're on live feed together, at least once or twice a month, which is amazing because it gets their community to really, relate to them, get personal with them, but also get personal with me. I'm a very personal kind of person. I love to be in front of the camera. I love to, talk to the people. I love to be a part of, everybody that's involved. So, I'm asking everyone to kind of take me under their wing, believe in me and let me spread my wings, not only, in Florida, but across the country. If you're watching this, I'm sorry as hell to blab, but, I've done a lot in a year and a half, and I'm trying to pitch myself as a true community leader and a voice for these animals. So, my biggest goals coming forward are to have a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers or more, so I can be a lot more impactful when I go on the road and go live. The second thing is I want to have, millions of followers on Facebook for the same reasons. You can go live on YouTube and Facebook today. And I know that if we use all those tools that we have in our toolbox with social media, and somebody as personable and loud as myself, we can do a lot, and we can make a lot of change happen really quickly. So again, guys, I'm Chris with GeorgeWakeCharities.com. I really hope you guys believe in me. I'm sorry this video was kind of like in your face video kind of thing, but it's something I'm extremely passionate about. And I only did this take once, guys, because I was like, I only take my first take is my best take. I always feel that way. So if you're watching this, guys, I hope I've convinced you enough that this is something that I know I was called to do. This is something that I truly love, and I hope that you guys can support me moving forward in this journey. So thanks, guys. Again, I'm Chris with GeorgeWakeCharities.com.